All right, so we're back on location for another interior cleaning. That's what I mostly do. 90%, 80% of the time I do interior cleanings, which I highly prefer over any exterior work because number one, it's hot as hell here in Texas. It's a lot more work to do work on the outside, whether it be like a wash and wax, paint correction, because it dries so quick. So I do prefer interiors because it's actually easier for me, especially because the water, it dries off, the panels get hot, yada yada yada. And then number two, I'll make another video on this, but it's like scalability on interior cleanings. I mean, if I wanted to ramp up more interior cleaning jobs, I could easily, not easily, but it's in my opinion, it's easier to hire someone or to get help to do interior cleanings than it would to be exterior work. My opinion, but I do highly prefer interiors over exteriors any day in terms of scaling a detailing business and being able to just up business in a shorter time frame than focusing on the exterior. My personal opinion, I'll do another video on that, but let's go and see the vehicle. So real quick guys, if you are looking to start your detailing business, in the description box down below, there will be a guide on the 9 essential services you can offer in your detailing business. Choose one, choose 3. You will get, the services, what's included in the services, the tools and products, how long it should take, how much you can potentially charge, the benefit, who to sell to, all that in this very thorough guide. So if you're looking to start your detailing business and offer detailing services, check that description box down below to get the guide. All right, so this interior is pretty bad, as you can tell. This is the passenger seat, front passenger seat, so definitely a little bit of a challenge. I'm assuming it's gonna take me maybe like 5-6 hours to complete this. Like, this is pretty bad, look at that. So yeah, this is probably one of the heavier cars that I've seen in the interior. And the customer, again, it's always about like, communicating with the customer. Are they, is it gonna look 10 times better than what it is right now when I'm through with it? Of course. Is it going to be 110% perfect? No, and the customer doesn't expect that. So, it's not an overwhelming job because I'm not going for absolute perfectness. I'm going for way better than what it is right now, and way better than what it is right now isn't gonna take a lot of work to get to it. Now, don't get me wrong. This is definitely a challenge. Like, this is definitely really bad, but definitely nothing that's gonna like. That's gonna get me stuck here for 10 hours or so. Now, if I was going for perfection on every last stain, yeah, that'd probably be a bigger deal. But I'm not, so it's not a big deal. It's just a really regular cleaning, 5 to 6 hours, in and out. Nothing on the headliner, because this headliner, and just off of looking at it, but this headliner is kind of, when you the fibers are really old and not the most of highest quality, so when you like agitate it, the fibers get messed up. So you're like, I would lightly touch these up, because if I go in here with a brush or a towel and agitate it, you're gonna clearly tell that certain areas were touched up. So with the headliner, I'm not gonna do much work to it, just a very small light agitation with a towel, like very lightly, but you don't want to mess up those fibers where like it's twisted and everything else is like nice and flat. This is the interior, 5 to 6 hours, I'm assuming. So we'll see how I do with clocking it in. Now I came back in the car just to be in shade. But so this, I am at another apartment location. And again, a lot of you guys are saying, hey, look, I want to start detailing business, but I need my generator, my pressure washer, my water tank, and all that good stuff. So I am at an apartment location, and the common thought is, hey, you need a generator because you're not gonna have power to hook up to. Yes, I have a generator, as you can tell right there. It's a Honda EUI 2000i. A great generator, but this customer's where she stays, her apartment is literally right there, right behind her vehicle, and there's an electrical plug on her porch. So there's no need for me to use the generator because it's literally only about 20 feet away from the car. So I asked, hey, can I just plug it up there? She said yes, so I'm good to go with power. So, ask the customer, even if they're at an apartment complex, hey, is there an electrical outlet nearby? Because it happens quite often where either the person has a private garage where they're paying for and there's an electrical plug in there. Maybe you could detail their car in the garage. Maybe there's an electrical outlet just nearby that you're able to access, and power isn't gonna be an issue that you don't need a generator. So keep that in mind. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a trash bag and just pick up all the bigger debris that's in the vehicle. That way my vacuum doesn't have to work as hard in terms of sucking the bigger areas, because it's just easier. So like all these things right here, not too large, not too hefty, but it just it makes life easier on the vacuum, and it doesn't rip up the bag, the bag inside the vacuum as quickly, because it's not as jagged and stuff. Like this crown will get picked up and stuff Just the bigger areas, like these little crumbs, let me know. That'll be vacuumed up pretty easy. But just the bigger things are just easier to clean up real quick. And I'm still waiting for the steamer to heat up, so to be productive, might as well pick up the trash. There's wiring going all over the place, so you just want to be mindful of like if they did something, if they fixed something themselves, or if they added something electrically, or really anything, or something's broken. You just want, you want to make sure that you know ahead of time, so you don't think you broke it, or so you're just, you're sure of what to do before you actually get started. Okay, so part one of just getting the bigger chunks of debris out of the vehicle is complete. The steamer is as soon as I got here, well, after I shot that video, I got here, I hooked up the steamer, so now it's steaming up because it's the steamer and the polisher and the brush attachment that I used 80% of the time in the interior, so I need the steamer to get up and running. That way I can get going, because it's faster to have the steamer than not having the steamer. So I just do all the other little stuff, and then now I'm just gonna wait. I have everything set up. I took out the floor mats. Now they're here, stationed. I'm not gonna vacuum any of these. I'm just gonna use a upholstery brush them off, agitate with the polisher, steam, mop up with a towel, and then they'll be good to go. So again, not like my other video I posted where I had a lot of space. Here's the complete opposite. I'm in a very tight area. I'm not going to be working too much on that side because there's just not much clearance between this car and that car, and the sun's hitting that side. So to minimize me getting hot and sweating, and I don't have much room to work there anyways, I'm gonna try to as best as I can work from this side, from the passenger side, as much as I can. So if I can clean those seats, I know I can clean that third row from this side, from the left side. So I'm gonna try to do that, but it's gonna be kind of difficult for the driver's side. But I'm gonna try to do everything from this entry because again, there's no space on that side. The sun's hitting it, so I'm just gonna be sweating a lot more than what I want. It's just unpleasant. So that's the game plan with the back rows. Obviously, I can take care of this seat here, no problem. I can take care of the dashboard and the center console off from this side, from the passenger side. So it's all gonna be for that seat that I'm gonna have to go on that side and to clean like the other side of the steering wheel column and all that. So I'll kind of look out. Hopefully the sun moves in my favor away from here. Other than that, it's pretty standard detail. It's just a little dirtier than usual, but hey, no biggie. Like this here, like that seems dirty, and that is dirty, but it only takes but a few wipes with the APC to get this off. I mean, this I'm guesstimating it's not gonna take much to get this off. I mean, this is literally years of just buildup, but it's not gonna be all too bad. Again, because I'm not going for perfection. We're not expecting perfection, just 10 times better than what it looks like right now. And then there's this dog here, there's old gunk, dried up liquids. The buttons are all gunked up on the edges of it. Okay, let's check if the steamer's ready. Okay, now check it out. Because this is the driver's seat, I need it to dry first. It's probably the area they're gonna pay more attention to because that's where she sits down. I'm gonna clean this part first and just get it over with, because this is gonna be the more gruesome part, or the more the more painful part, because I'm in the sun, I'm in a tighter area. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get this part done with to get it over with, and then the rest of the car should be straightforward in terms of comfortability because there's more space on that side and I'm not getting beat down by the sun. Okay, and this is a pretty straightforward detail. I use the steamer to just break apart the stain that you saw right there. It does make it a lot easier to break up the stains with the steamer. Then spray the APC, follow it up with the brush, follow it up with the steamer again and the brush attachment. And here specifically, I did a double pass with the polisher, but I actually don't do that on the rest of the mat, just because it's not necessary. I was getting the same results, and this was going to be a long detail, so you kind of want to make sure you want to push and pull what areas you're going to work on more than others. Because I mean, if you want to spend, like I said earlier in the video, if you want to spend getting every single last stain out, and yeah, that's going to take you a lot of time, which you're going to spend more time, you're going to get more tired, you're going to be less profitable. So you want to choose, like, what am I going to spend more time on? Because it's a pretty trashed vehicle, so the customer wants it to look a lot better. And doing this process here is getting significant results, and doing a double pass, or spending more time than needed, isn't going to yield that much different of results that's going to change the opinion of the customer. Like, they're already going to love it because it's already looking 10 times better. So no need to go and get like an X percentage better if they're already still going to be wowed. And again, there's a limit to the budget and how many hours I can work. So you definitely need to keep that in mind when you're out there working in the field. You want to do as much as you can to get great results. Do that, but also be mindful of how long you're taking, how much money you want to make, and just the overall work you're going to put into it. And now let's move on to the dashboard. This one, you know, I don't always follow the same process, same method every single time. Typically, if you've seen my other videos, I start from the top of the dashboard and then work down. So I'll work the top layer of the dashboard, then the events, the radio, all the buttons, and then move down to the center console and the couples and all that stuff. But this time I'm working from the bottom, as you can clearly see, and I'm working my way up. Did I work over myself? No, not really. But you do want to have a system in place typically when you're working. And like I said, I typically start from the top and work down. This one, just for whatever reason, I started right there from the bottom and then worked up. It worked out great for me. I didn't lose time or anything. But you do want to be mindful of, you want to have a pretty structured routine you follow when you're servicing any type of vehicle, not just interiors, but interior and exterior. You want to have a system in place that you can just fall into and execute every single time. That way you're speeding up your production hours and you're being more efficient on the field, so you're making more money and you're getting better, you're getting the great results in a reasonable time frame. You're making money, the customer's happy. So that's an ideal method you want to go after, is having a system in place. So here I'm primarily using the steamer APC and 2 of the Detail Buddy brushes. One is always to agitate, the other is to brush. I typically use most of the time the agitating brush. All right, so I'm gonna have to start hurrying up because the lights, I think it's gonna start raining, so I have to start moving. So anyways, if I was cleaning this part, this is really straightforward. I'll just spread it down a little bit, let it sit there for a bit, then come back with the steamer. If you didn't have a steamer, you just come back with a brush and literally agitate it right here. But since I have a steamer, that I probably have to buy a new one because it kind of broke right here, I'll get a steamer, scoop it out. You can see that I have a buildup there. Same thing with this little steam right here, this little rubber out. Then put the brush attachment on, and then now all I do is get this towel and mop it up. And it's quite dirty. Okay, well, I'm all over the place here, guys. It's so hard to try to film and be efficient at detailing. I'm telling you, this eats up a lot of my time. So there in the grooves of the press, I'll blow this out, and then I just hit everything else around there. Then get the towel, and then just wipe it all down. I recline the seat. I have better access to this area because a bunch of dust and dirt does accumulate around this area. But I literally just try to get every groove around there. Make sure I'm looking at the seatbelt in all directions. Then down there, there's a bunch of dog hair and dirt built up on those little pockets. You just want to inspect as much as you can. Pull this back a little bit. So there's still a little bit. So I'm gonna wrap this towel around the seatbelt. That way, when I spray the steamer, I'm not getting too much of the spray. I'm not getting caught into the actual towel. So now I can just scoot this seat forward. I'll spray this down. Same concept. If you didn't have a steamer, you would just use a brush and brush this all down. But I have a steamer. And come back with your towel and mop this up. Make sure you're getting underneath. So these areas are actually dirty too. You want to thread it, floss, however you want to call it. Push this down, push it back up twice. And come back with the steamer, hit these tight areas. Now I'll put this down and I'll put the camera down and shoot the steamer in there. Alright, and now let's move on to the door panel. This one is pretty bad. You can just see all that gunkness on the on that fabric there. The actual plastic itself was really dirty too, as you can imagine. If the fabric there where you rest your arm is that dirty, everything else is going to be pretty darn dirty as well. So it was definitely a significant improvement. You can't really tell because it's black, and you can't really see the difference with black. If it's like a lighter tan color, you can see a huge difference, but you'll see in a bit the big difference with the fabric. And when you're working on the door panel, you for the most part always want to use a towel, or at least use low pressure if you're not using a towel, because you really don't want to saturate that area too much. In my experience, the fibers aren't like the most thick and not the highest of quality, so you can like oversaturate it, and then it'll look the fibers will look a little different once you're done. But pretty straightforward process. It's the same process I'm always using, just with different brushes. And you want to be careful that you don't over agitate, because you can mess up the fibers. Okay, and real quick, this is just the where the seatbelt is held. It's super dry, gunk, pet hair, nastiness. So I'm gonna show you a quick method on how I do that. You could vacuum it beforehand. I guess that would work if that's the option you want to go after. I didn't vacuum at all before I started. So here I'm just gonna use a brush to get as much of that hair out, to clear it out. I'll use a steamer to loosen anything else, heat up the area a little bit. I use, and just agitate with the brush. And in real dirty areas, you want to have like towels specifically reserved for the really dirty areas. That way, you're using the ugly towels on the ugly areas, so you can kind of manage how the towels, you're not throwing away towels left and right, because you keep on using decent towels on really bad areas. So that's just a little tip that way you can manage your towels better while you're on the job. Now moving on to the actual seat. Now here I scrubbed it in with the cleaner with the brush a little bit, because I did saturate it quite a bit, and if I didn't do that, it would be a bit of overspray. It would be a bit of sling when I started running the polisher. So just to manage that sling a little bit, I just brushed it into the actual seat, just so it doesn't splatter everywhere once I turned on the machine. Followed it up with a steamer, a towel. And with this, you need to make sure that you check it once it dries, because everything is wet right now, so you're not going to see the true results. Now, I already know from experience and all that, once I was done with it, it's gonna be great results. But you do want to ensure that you're drying it, or you're there to when it dries, because there might be some spots that are just being covered by the wetness of it, and once it dries, you can see the stains again, or you can see the water stains from the steamer. So you do want to, if possible, dry it before you leave. Okay, quick update on the detail. I am on about to hit hour 5. Really, it's like 4 hours actually detailing, because of this camera. As I always say, setting it up, doing all the good jazz. It does eat up time, so I say like 4 hours of actual working detailing. I think I have like another hour or so left, because now I have to vacuum, pull these seats forward, and clean behind them, and there's a lot of trash and pet hair there. But other than that, yeah, I cleaned the door panels, the seats, headliner, dashboard, center console, the rails, A pillars, B pillars, the step plastic parts here. So everything for the most part done. Now is just cleaning everything up. I'm gonna take all the tools, towels, products out of here, put them back there, so I have so I could just inspect where I'm at without any clutter in the way. And then I'm going to bring out the vacuum. I'm gonna put the polisher up, because I'm pretty much done with that. If I do need to brush anything, I'll just use the upholstery brush, and I'll still use the steamer, so the steamer stays on, because I can still potentially need that. And so yeah, now I'm just gonna vacuum, pull these seats up, inspect the work, clean the mirrors and glass. We'll give it a final wipe down, because dust accumulated on the interior since I've been having these doors open. Wrap it up, get paid, and then go home. So let's get back to it. All right, so here's the end. Unfortunately, it's already dark, so I can't show you exactly, but here are the seats. There was a really difficult part here in the cup holder. There was gum, so I used a steamer and adhesive remover to get that out. That one was a pain. I spent like 5 minutes on that one area. Other than that, the car came out really well. I mean, she's gonna absolutely love it. She walked by and she said she was gonna wait till I was completely done so she could see it, so she's gonna be completely amazed. Again, it wasn't going for perfection. I'm only going for a lot better, which I definitely hit right on the head. She's definitely gonna enjoy the outcome with this one. So now again, I'm just gonna walk her through the process. I'm gonna open everything up. You can barely see me, but I'm gonna open everything up. I'm gonna push these seats forward. I'm gonna open up all the cracks, all the crevices, all the cubbies, and I'm gonna walk her through what I went, explain what came out good, what came out what didn't come out so well, and then accept payment. Tell her I'm gonna send her a text for review, and then I'm on my way out. So this one kind of beat the crap out of me. real tight area, not much space to move, so I'm in a very odd position the entire time. So this one was a lot worse than typical details because it's just in a very confined area. So see you next time.